this is going to be a special review of basically the first time we're going to be talking about a older film for the first time on camera. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to be doing in a retro review of David Fincher's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which is the 2011 American version based on the novel by Stieg Larsson. And basically, this film... From Sweden, yeah. Now, in this movie, this was based on a series of books that feature the character of Elizabeth Salander, which
and
they
also made movies in Sweden. I've never seen any of them. So
in Sweden, there were films that were based on the three books: The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, and The Girl Who Played with Fire. And they actually made a trilogy out of them in Sweden. And so, basically, in 2011, they decided to make a American version of it for for North American audiences. Now, this is going to be kind of the first time doing this, so
we just saw
the new one. We decided to talk about the first one real quick, which is David Fincher's version. This is my first time actually fully watching it, so I'm actually kind of glad I got to after it's been out for so long.
Yeah.
This film deals with it's set in, I believe, in Stockholm.
Stockholm, Sweden.
Sweden, yes.
Yeah, Stockholm.
Where you have a journalist named Mikael Blomkvist, played by Daniel Craig, who's writing a story to... Basically, he loses a case that was brought into him by this wealthy business guy, and he gets a deal by this wealthy guy named Henrik Vanger, who is basically a... He wants him to investigate his daughter who went missing for 40 years. And as the movie, and basically in exchange for him, he'll give him a way to try to bring back his case for his journalist business to still be going. And along the way, the movie also deals with a plot involving this girl who's a hacker by the name of Elizabeth Salander, played by Rooney Mara. And basically, there's a subplot involving her where she's getting sexually abused by this guy who's appointed her legal guardian and everything, and it shows a story arc involving her where she's having to basically rise up and take action. Yeah. And along the way, Daniel Craig's character ends up wanting to recruit her to help her find out more about the disappearance of that girl.
Yeah.
Now, to go into some more details, this film I avoided for years because honestly, it took me a long time to fully watch it until last night.
Yeah, actually, last year I watched a couple scenes, but I didn't fully watch it until last night. He told me, hey, let's go see the second one. Let's try to get the first one out. I waited. It just seemed like it wasn't my cup of tea. I don't know what it is, and it's David Fincher, and I should have fucking, known better because everything he does is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it was just something, it was one of the only times he ever did a film that I just it didn't grab me at first.
Yeah, it was one of those movies
I didn't know what I was getting into, and it just didn't feel... Oh, before we continue, sorry for the glare. We had no option. This is
on the daytime. Yeah, we just watched the second
movie just now, and we really have no other place we could do this right now. So
yeah, we apologize for the lighting.
Yep.
But upon finally seeing the film, I actually will admit that I actually really highly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I actually was surprised by it.
I mean, this movie, it's a very gritty and very bleak look of It kind of has like a True Detective kind of feel to it as well.
The first season
of True Detective.
Yeah, it's very bleak. You guys know how David Fincher likes to shoot his films.
With that green
dark with black.
Yeah.
And it's bleak and gritty. And I thought that was the perfect camera work to shoot.
Oh yeah,
film.
definitely.
I thought it blended with this story very well.
Oh yeah,
especially because she has that goth look to her.
Yes,
yeah. and Rooney
Mara was fantastic.
Fantastic.
She is Elizabeth Salander for me. She really captures a lot of the the geeky kind of hacker ability to her, but also the very vulnerable and stoic persona that she carries, because she's basically you really feel bad to her throughout the film because of all the shit that she goes through.
Yeah, the beginning, man. I don't think I've seen more detail rate than I have since the last House on the Left.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking detailed.
Disturbing.
And it happens quite often.
It does.
They really want you to believe, hey, this girl's going through fucking the worst shit. And I'll tell you right now, I think I read that Rooney actually got nude and went in detail with that.
She did, yeah.
And I feel sorry for, I'm glad she found something that she was really good in, because this is somebody who is really well known, but but yet got a horrible track record choosing
Yeah, because she
films.
first started out, unfortunately, her first movie was Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it wasn't until
She
that
was
same year
horrible
that
Nancy.
she was in the Social Network.
Yeah, which that and this film, both David Fincher were my favorites she's ever done. And then she did Pan, which was bad. Everything else that seemed like she just chooses was bad. But I gotta say, she was phenomenal in this film.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Daniel Craig
Daniel
was
Craig
great.
was wonderful. I'm glad that
Yeah.
he was playing a different type of guy who's not really like Bond or anything. He's just a
Yeah.
regular journalist.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of parts where he shows vulnerability as well in this, especially because
With stones,
he's going
cars,
through
yeah.
he's going through like the mystery surrounding this, and and as the plot unfolds, it really goes into deep how there's other connections with this family that he investigates and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's
and
just
Stellan Skarsgård's in this.
yeah,
He's
he was
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
And one of my other biggest pros the most is like the fucking score in this was outstanding
Yeah,
by
the
Trent
score.
Reznor and Atticus
From
Ross from Nine Inch Nails.
They always do great scores, man. And it was shocking. They were phenomenal in Social Network.
Yeah.
They did that score really good. But
Yeah, and then they
yeah.
also the macabre and gritty tone of this film really showcased a lot, especially like toward the end of the film. You really see a lot of the. Well, not toward the end, but like toward the middle half of the film, when you see the detail, like when Elizabeth Salander like ends up getting her vengeance upon some of the people that fucked her over, it goes into pretty good detail with that shit too.
It's a very brutal film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the brutality, you can kind of say they took some risk
Yeah.
into what they were allowed, thinking that the MPAA might gut them, and they didn't. Thank God.
Yeah,
But,
and also one of my other biggest pros the most is the cinematography in this, like the snowy look of it and the way that it kind of has like that.
I like the goth look too.
Yeah, me too.
The very goth look. I think it fits so well with the tone.
Yes,
of this
absolutely.
film.
Now, if I had like really any cons, my only two things would be like while the dialogue is very interesting, the way it goes along with the plot, I did feel like it did drag a little bit at parts because it
dragged
feels
for me a little
very dragged out, and plus toward the last half, it does feel like it kind of veers off into a different direction, like after we've solved the main plot.
Yeah.
So I
And
kind of
then
felt like it took a little too
There was
far
a
with
death that happens in the film that I felt was underwhelming, deserving of the character. That should have should have been a whole lot worse for that motherfucker.
Yeah.
But also, and I'm going to complain about this in the later films. Give her what it takes. I am not a big fan of films speaking English in another country that don't speak
Sweden?
English. Yeah, Swedish.
Well, see,
and Sweden it reminds me of Valkyrie. I didn't give Valkyrie a pass when they didn't speak German. I didn't give the Red Sparrow a pass that they didn't speak Russian.
Yeah.
They were speaking English in that. And in this one, they're not speaking Swedish.
Well,
they're speaking. Everybody speaks English.
That probably might have been the idea because the original Swedish versions, they talk in Sweden. Now, they have dub versions of that movie too, but those movies are using that Swedish language.
I had this pet peeve
Yeah.
of realism, even though if the film isn't trying to be real or not, you're in another country.
You want to speak that language.
It's kind of ignorant to say that everybody in the world speaks perfect English.
I got you.
And that was one of my problems in that one, and it's going to be my problem in the new one.
Fair enough. But overall, though, I highly enjoyed the
it's still
original,
great.
the first one, the girl was spying in those Girl with the Dragon Tattoo from 2011. With that, I'm going to give it probably maybe a low phenomenal grade on the Film Freaks meter.
Yeah, I'm going to go a high compelling grade in the Film Freaks meter because that, like I said, they not speaking the tone of the country bothers me. Maybe they should have did American, since it was American version. Maybe it should have took place in America. Then it would have probably been better. I get that they want to keep the Swedish land, which you should do because that's where it's from. But you can't do that and then say they speak perfect English.
I got you.
So high compelling, and it's only the few films because so much was so good in the film that didn't get a very low grade for speaking another, the English thing. Knocking that off, the film still, everything else was so perfect. So, it's going to be a high, compelling grade in Film Freaks meter for me.
Fair enough. And for those who have also seen The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the 2011 version, and also the Swedish versions and the book that they're based on, let us know in the comments below what you thought about them. And if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like, subscribe to our channel, and check out some of our other reviews here and our website at filmfreaks.com. And we'll be seeing you on our next review. We'll see you later.
Later.